What is up, my tribal people? Welcome back to another episode clip of Pree Da Podcast. And just a reminder that these are only short in clips, and if you want to listen to the full episode, make sure you click the first link in the description below. Or alternatively, you can type in Pree Da Podcast on all your audio listening platforms. And if you want to keep up with what goes on behind the scenes, make sure you follow our Instagram at Pree Da Podcast. Without further ado, I'll catch you guys on the other side. We've all seen the videos of people benching and lifting crazy amounts of weights in the gym, only to find out that those weights were fake.
This is a certified anabolic apparel classic.
You are now listening to Pree Da Podcast with your host, Majaro.
What is up, my people? You guys already know what I'm going to say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to get to 100 subscribers before the end of the year, and by sharing this with your friends and family, that goes a long way in helping us do that. Now let's get into the episode. What is up, my people? Welcome back to another episode of Pree Da Podcast. I'm your host, Majaro, and joining me today is a special brother of mine. We go way back, low-key, from Patronado days from the summer. I saw him and I was like, yo, fam, what you on? And he told me about his gym brand and how he wanted to expand his business and how we could collaborate. And it's been a long time coming, you know, processing and making. And I'd like to introduce you, Mr Anabolic himself. Man like David. Baby.
This is a certified anabolic apparel classic.
Trust, fam. You already know.
I'll send you the anabolic sound effects as well.
Okay, say no more. But welcome to the show, bro. How have you been?
Man, good to be here. I've been good. I've been good. Like, as you know, we were going to do this in person, but we couldn't, obviously, because of the weather and the train strikes and all the other barriers.
You already know.
Anything that COVID taught us is that you have to adapt and you have to overcome and just do things in different ways sometimes. So that's why we're here now. So it's good to be here.
Good.
I'm excited to have a good old anabolic Pree Da Podcast chat.
Yeah, Pree Da Podcast X Anabolic. So let's go from the beginning. We met at Patronado. For me, starting a podcast, I was like, right, I can't just stay in my little bubble and just stay in my house. I need to get out and actually meet people and actually connect with people, tell people what I'm about, and then obviously communicate with them what they're about and, you know, see if we can work together and have common ground. And you were like one of the first people I linked up with. So we went to me and my boy Cameron, who was on the podcast, we went to the Patronado concert and we were just chilling at the start. We didn't really know, I didn't know what to expect. So I was just chilling around the back. And then we were just all looking around, waiting for the show to start. And then, you know, you came up to us, you and Fuller, shout out to Fuller. You guys came up to start chatting to bare friendly. You were like, yeah, come through. Let's watch this. Let's do that. And then afterwards, I got your number. And then you showed me your Instagram. And then you sent me some merch. And you were like, low key. No, you were actually the first person who sponsored with a sponsored post. So appreciate that. And I modeled the anabolic tee. That was the first. I think that was your first ever design, and
yeah.
And then you got some followers from that, and then stuff kept on growing and growing. But obviously, those ideas don't come out of nowhere. You need to start off from somewhere. And you said one of the inspirations was, you know, obviously going to the gym. You're a gym apparel brand, so why do you feel going to the gym is important? Because I know why, but some people might not know.
I think it's important because I think every single human should do something that they find difficult or challenging and that they can progress in. Whether that's something as simple as, it doesn't have to be the gym, it could be any sport, any kind of physical activity, even if that's going for a walk and just going a little bit longer each day or a little bit faster each day. Because it's very easy to, and this is another thing that the COVID period taught us, was that it's very easy to fall out of routine and just kind of become a bit of a slob, to be fair. But the gym, if you just keep like a gym plan or a fitness routine in check, it will help keep other things in check as well. So they say that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you can do the gym very well, you do other things well, and it will also increase your amount of endorphins that are released in your body. It's just a great way for stress relief as well. It's just really great for mental health. There's so many things it's good for, and I think a lot of the time it comes down to just straight up perception. If you see it as like a chore, then it will be a chore. If you see it as something that you're going to progress and it's going to make other parts of your life better, then that's literally what will happen as well. So I think there's a lot of manifestation in the gym as well. They say the mind to muscle connection is very important, and I think that if you're training without the mind to muscle connection, then you're probably the type of person that kind of just goes into seeing it as a chore sort of thing. But if you're all in and you fully manifest that muscle building and progression, then you're going to see the results and you're going to be proud of yourself and you're going to want to progress further, and not just in the gym, but other things in life. So with your podcast, with business, with friends, with your network and everything. So I see it as like an all-encompassing. It's kind of like, yeah, going to the gym is a kind of one-line statement, but what it means is, like, I guess, having your life in order and celebrating progression, which is what Anabolic is all about too.
Okay, so would you say going to the gym is your temple? I mean, it sounds super cliche because, you know, a lot of people who go to the gym hard, it's like a religion to us. Like, it's like, for me, I have to go to the gym 5 times a week at minimum. That's just for my own sanity because, like you said, I feel like, you know, building that consistency, building that work ethic, and eventually, once you start seeing progress, you don't want to go back. It's one of them where I started off at being like, my body type is like, I'm super prone to putting on weight. Like, if I don't exercise, you know, give me 2 cheeseburgers in 2 days, 2 days straight, and I'll start putting on pounds. And it took me a lot of time to realize that about myself because I'm African, specifically Nigerian, and our diets are super heavy in carbohydrates. So coming from that lifestyle, eating carbs, rice, eba, starch, all these carby foods on a daily basis, and I was trying to play football, I was trying to play basketball at the time, and you just saw the levels between me and everyone else. And when I got older and I was able to, you know, control my diet and eat the right foods and go to the gym more consistently, that's when I saw the benefits in my overall health. I felt lighter on my feet. I felt like I had more energy, and I was a lot more consistent in not just the gym, but other aspects of my life that I felt like I needed to put the same consistency I put into the gym into, say, doing a podcast or, you know, doing something else. So yeah, I definitely say it's part of my routine now, and I definitely can't go a week. Even on my days off are probably like the days I go to the gym even more because I know I can wake up early, I can hit the treadmill, hit the weights, and then go home, and then the rest of my day can start. And at the start for me, it was just about, you know, the physique, building the muscle. But as I got older and, you know, less time constraints, I felt like, you know, getting the bare basics correct in terms of just definitely have to, you know, put in cardio every session, just, you know, for your heart and, you know, to lose, you know, extra body fat, and obviously muscle training for the specifics, but more functional body training because, you know, you can put all the bulk on, you can put on all the bulk that you want, but if you're trying to play a sport, that bulk can be hindering your performance in terms of being mobile and being agile. So yeah, my gym journey's come a long way, and yeah, it's been nice to see the progression for sure. And hopefully people, you know, it's never too late to pick up some sort of exercise. It doesn't have to be strictly going to the gym every day, but, you know, some activity that you do consistently on a weekly basis. I feel like if people can put that into their lifestyle, I guarantee you that will pay dividends in the future for sure.
100%. We all know those people that say, "Oh, I need to start going one day." That I need to people, and it's to say they'll just be those people forever. Most cases, or they'll go once. Like with January's coming up, right? So we're going to see those people that just go because it's new year, new me people.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I was one of the new year, new me people back in, when was it, like 2016? So I was just starting. That would be when I really go in is 2016. I'd be really committed and everything, and I did, and I have been since then. To be fair, and I fell off the wagon and stuff. But I was a big boy. I was like, how many stones? It was just stones or kg. So I was 131 kilograms at 18 years old, which I think is about 21 stones. which is really, really bad. And I remember just looking at myself, just thinking, I'm gonna be dead. I'm gonna be dead in like 5 years. I remember just thinking that imagine thinking that every single morning. You look in the mirror, I just look at my body, and I'm like, there's no way that a human can sustain this for long. If this rate continues, I will be dead. And that's a hell of a motivator. If you're speaking about what motivates you to go to the gym, I think sometimes it just takes a while for things to like click, or you have to go through some like different traumatic events and stuff and other things. You kind of see the purpose of life a bit deeper. And yeah. So I think if you just remember that as well, remember your why, you can always be motivated to go to the gym.
Yeah, because like another motivator for me was I just wanted it for myself, right? To say I got myself to my physical peak possible at that time for, all the constraints. Obviously, I'm not LeBron James. I haven't got infinite time to go to the gym every day. But I could say to my son, to my daughter, yo, this was me when I was like A1. After years of consistently going to the gym, I got myself to that level, and I could be proud of that. I can be like, yes, I got to my physical peak. Like how you hear about footballers or sports athletes saying, yeah, they're at their physical peak. I wanted to be that, a stereotypical civilian at the stereotypical peak. So I wanted that badge of honor, in my opinion. That's just selfish me. Just wanted to get that stamp of approval for myself.
It's not selfish, I wouldn't say. I'd say it's more just you wanted to be the strongest version of yourself, I guess, in that regard, and just kind of see how. Because otherwise, you just regret that you get to a point where you're like 40 or something like that, and you just think, oh, what if I did?
Yeah, man, that's what I don't want.
A bit harder. No one wants that, and I think that's the same with all other things in life as well. What if I didn't take the opportunity, or what if I didn't go and just like speak to that girl I fell in love with or something like that. And whatever it is, I mean, you only literally, that sounds cringe, but you only live once, right? So essentially,
YOLO.
Like, you always, YOLO, #YOLO. And you always think, you just think all these things are going to happen. It's just made up scenarios in your head. You think things are going to happen, but it's all just like anxiety about other people's reactions. You just have to go out there and try something. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. What's the like worst thing that can happen in that sort of case as well? It's like, you go to the gym, you injure yourself or something. That's really like the worst thing that can happen. You forget to like research the form, and then you injure yourself. But then if you're doing those things anyway, then it's like, yeah, you got nothing to lose. You only got to gain.
So what's your gym routine then?
So at the moment, I have a coach, and at the moment we're programmed on a push-pull legs, and there's also two variations of the legs. So there's legs quad dominant, there's legs hamstring dominant, and there's chest and back, and there's also a different variation where it's delts and shoulders or something. I think I should remember, but I've only just been recently switched onto it, so it's not fresh in my mind. But it was usually a push-pull legs split that I was on. That's what I'm kind of used to the most, and that's been working really, really well. And I was on a long gaining phase for about a year. I started dieting in 2019, and then I was on a plan called the 36-week physique. That almost finished, and then COVID happened, and then I still was with my coach. And this was one of the things I'm most proud about training. Like I carried on training when COVID happened. And lots of my mates, they stopped going to the gym, and they lost a lot of their gains. And I feel like I retained a lot of my gains through COVID. There was that time when, there's lockdowns, and then it was out of lockdown. Like, gym's back open.
Yeah, oh my God.
And then it's like lockdown happens again. Bands, gotta get the bands again. But I just carried on.
Wait.
I just
on those bands, I tried those bands. Do you think they actually work?
I know they work.
Okay.
I made it work. But the thing is, though, it's like my coach showed me a way to use them that I've never seen that done before, which is like, it was really good. And also like, we engineered it slightly different. So it's like it's bands, and it's also like isometric holds with the bands as well.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I think I probably got cheap ass bands. That's probably why. Like one of the handles snapped on me, and I was like, yeah, I'm never using bands again. But
okay, I get you. I just had the standard, like the proper like gym, but I had some from before. The thing is though, because of the gyms not open, I feel like there was only so much muscle I retained. It was like a lockdown physique. So, but it was still, for me, it was like, I was proud of it, and I was proud I could get that lean. I'm proud that I had like good ab genetics and stuff, because that's one thing I thought I could never get a six pack. Like when I was younger, you just keep thinking about six packs. And then when you get one, it's just like, it's really not, it's not as great as you make it out in your head, but it's like, it's that classic argument for ideology, right? Like you realize that it wasn't the six pack that you wanted, it was the pursuit of the six pack that the type of person that becomes that is what you wanted all along. Do you know what I mean? You don't want the six pack, doesn't mean it. It's like a Lamborghini or something like that. You don't care. It doesn't mean anything. It's just an object, right?
Yeah.
But in the pursuit of that, you become a certain type of person that gets certain things done, which is the thing you actually want. So that's the kind of like
juxtaposition,
the conflict, juxtaposition. That's the perfect word. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
it was great getting that lean. I liked it. I'm cutting again now, like getting down to 110. So I'm about 117 at the moment. Get down to 110, hold, and I'm just going to focus on like kind of like a body recomposition and gaining. So
yeah. For me, like obviously, like he's talked about COVID. For me, COVID, I fell off a cliff, bro. I fell off a cliff. It was so harsh that fall, because obviously I was living in a shared accommodation at the time, so there wasn't much space for myself. I was in a 1-bedroom, single bedroom. So if I wanted to actually do some proper gym, I would have to go outside. And them times there, you're living in England, it could be raining, it could be snowing at any given point. So it wasn't really the best conditions. I tried the resistance band thing. It wasn't doing anything for me. It just felt more effort than it was actually worth, in my opinion. I was just so over it. But and you said to me earlier, like it kept on, lockdown, not lockdown, not lockdown. We can go back to the gym. No, we can't. So every time the gym was open, I made a mission to be like, yes, I'm going to the gym and I'm going hard. And then maybe it lasts a month and then back to the home life. But then I thought, okay, maybe I can't maintain my gains. So I tried stopping to do that. So I was like, okay, so what thing I can do? I can, lose some extra weight or try to lose weight. So what I did was just go on a bike ride. Every day I went on a 25 to 30 minute bike ride on my lunch break or whatever, and that that maintained me at a decent weight, so that when the gyms did open, I can then go super hard and really put time and effort into it. And like the journey for me in terms of my routines has been like so up and down. Like at one point I was just eating loads of stuff and doing bare heavy stuff with no cardio. Literally, I'm looking like a hefty guy coming into the gym for my size and everything. Everyone's looking at me like, yo, you're massive, but like, what's this for? You're not really, there's no real definition. You just look bulky as hell. And then I got to a point where I was just like, yo, I'm just going to eat once a day. I'm going to go gym starving first thing in the morning. The only thing I'm going to drink for the day is water. And then in the evening, that's when I have like my standard calorie meal, and just so I can get shredded. And it worked. Like I did that, but like I said, it worked, but that wasn't sustainable, because if you do that for, say, this is what I did. I did like for 3 months straight. And then at the end of the 3 months or something, I ate like some food, like some bad food. And then I just started binging and I spiraled back into my bad habits after staying so strict for a good time. And then I was just like, yo, just F it. Let me just go eat bare chicken wings, eat bare ice cream. And yeah, so that worked for a short period of time doing what I did. But for sustainability, it wasn't, it didn't have the longevity that you would like. And then that's when, I've gone from both extremes to just eating bare food and doing no cardio and lifting bare weights, heavy weights, to, hitting the cardio and not eating and then crashing at the end. And now I feel like I've got more of a balance in terms of I'm eating way more healthier stuff consistently. I'm doing cardio every day. I'm not lifting as heavy as I possibly can, but I'm more concentrated on functional stuff and mobility, because I'm doing football, which is more all about being agile and being quick on your feet. So you don't really want to be carrying extra bulk. So that's my evolution of my gym routines. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about was, we've shared our gym routines, and I know a lot of other people share their gym routines online and be like, proper fitness influencers. And we've all seen the videos of people benching and lifting crazy amounts of weights in the gym, only to find out that those weights were fake. Or people, advertising, flat tummy teas, but not disclosing that they just make you crap all day. And that's what's actually flushing down your system to make you slim or thin, right? What are your thoughts on the fitness influencer ecosystem? Because I know there are a lot of good ones that I feel like one of my boys, he's a fitness coach, Connor, shout out to Connor. He started his journey in terms of coaching people online, having programs for people. He's not necessarily an influencer. He's more of a, lifestyle health coach in terms of, coaching you through healthy habits and having a program for you to train and, build up your body and obviously your mind at the same time. So I feel like those are the ones I feel like are very beneficial to the community and to the everyday people, because they educate them on, you don't have to be LeBron James, you don't have to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's. You can be yourself, but at its, at its peak with the amount of resources and time you have available. But there's obviously other ones that are like, yo, go gym every day, eat loads of stuff, protein shake this, powders that, creatine this, creatine that, everything. Like, what are your thoughts on the economy?
There's a lot of thoughts, and it's like, it's kind of been to the detriment of the whole lifestyle in general, right? Because there's so much. I remember one of my friends asked me once, he was like, I'm thinking about getting into the gym, what protein powder should I get? And I just said to him, I was like, that's just like so not important to this. It doesn't even go like, protein powder is just food, essentially. It's just a food. It's just powdered food. That's all it is. But it's been marketed. Fair play to the people who market it. They market it so well. Like, it's extremely well marketed. It has been for years as well. Because essentially it had to have been from the get-go, because whey protein originally was a waste product, right? It was a waste product from the dairy industry. No one wanted it. And then when in I think the early 90s, it happened around, some genius realized that all of this like waste product had a lot of like a high protein content, which were in at the time, like the fitness community, they were focusing on protein back then, because there wasn't a huge focus on protein back in the day, like the 50s and 60s and stuff. They focused more on like just meats and just kind of like vegetables. But when people started really focusing on protein, a lot of science came out about protein as well. People started looking to different ways that they can, like, I guess, monopolize off it. And one of them was whey protein, which was a waste product. But imagine getting a waste product and then turning that into like an industry like it is now. It's literally turning shit into sugar. So they've had to make all these like convoluted, like kind of fundamentally, yeah, protein is good for muscle protein synthesis when used like across the day. That's essentially, but that works with any protein source. Like whey protein, I think it gets so much light there compared to like just standard eating well and eating like a well-balanced diet. It's pretty crazy. And it's the same with the pre-workouts, with like creatine, and a lot of supplements as well. And a lot of these things, they do help. They do help you in your journey, but the focus that they get given, you have to remember that like a lot of these like fitness influencers, their livelihoods come through selling these products.
Yes, facts.
So they're gonna be heavily promoting it. They'll be like, "Oh, make sure you do creatine, make sure," and then at the end they'll be like, "Oh, by the way, I do sell creatine on my website as well. I got a discount code there and stuff." So they're all incentivized. But I think the best thing you can do really is that you can find those kind of those non-biased people. Like More Plates, More Dates is one of them. He's a really good like intellectual person about the fitness industry. There's what else is there? There's another guy. Can't remember. They're Vigorous Steve. There's loads of these other ones, but they don't really get noticed as much because they're not saying anything provocative, right? And then you get people like the Liver King who are saying these crazy things like you have to eat like bones and liver, and it's a lot of the stuff he's saying is true. But Liver King recently got it was obvious from the beginning, really, but he recently got shown that he'd been on steroids the whole time, and it has been pretty much for a huge portion of his life, but his main kind of purpose was to push all these supplements that have like liver in and everything. So
that's literally
a question. Go on.
That's literally what I clocked, right? It's like you obviously look at these people because they've got the body goals that you would want. They have what you want. You want to aspire to what their physique is, right? So they tell you, hey, this is how I got here. By doing crunches, eating, 5 meals a day, and also, taking this protein shake on the side. And doing this workout with this specific brand or using these equipments. But at the end of the day, they're juiced up to the high heavens. They're saying do X, Y, and Z like any normal person, but they're doing extra stuff on the side that you're not, going to be privy to because it's all like Instagram. It's not real. It's just what they want you to see, essentially. Yeah. And, get your money, but at the same time, I wouldn't want that to be for me because I feel like that's, lying to someone. And obviously in the community, there's a whole thing about, are they natural? Are they natty or not? Are they juiced up or not? Like, I remember another thing, another aspect of that is like with the WWE. There was a point of time where the WWE, you've watched WWE, right? Yeah, the WWE back in since the inception, to be honest, since the inception to, more recently, probably like the early 2000s, there was a whole epidemic of just steroided out wrestlers like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Randy Savage, loads of the greats, quote unquote greats, were just juiced up. Triple H was juiced up, Randy Orton was juiced up. I'm not so sure about John Cena, but I wouldn't be surprised that at one point he was like that. And even, allegedly The Rock. But it was a massive problem because, if you abuse those steroids, they could lead to long-term damage to your health as well as, brain damage and functional loss. But this was all in the name of the aesthetic. They wanted to be as big and bulky and larger than life as possible. But at the same time, that does have downsides. And, when people die at the age of 50, but you know them for the glory days and them being super fit and being super vascular and all this stuff. But at the same time, that was because they were taking these performance-enhancing drugs. And now this is the consequences. Taking shortcuts to get short-term gain, shortens your life, essentially. Yeah, so
it is bizarre to me. It's really weird to me how, and I think it's kind of the media's fault in the way that they portrayed people from the early 90s. Like, the best thing you can do to show this is like, as an example, is if you look at like action men figures or G.I. Joe figures from the 60s, from the 70s, 80s, 90s, they just get like bigger and bigger, more like on steroids. And that's because the image of what is like the ideal man or what is the healthy man has just been so skewed to the point now where you think that like these like people in magazines like The Rock or like whoever or like the top bodybuilders, like none of them are healthy, right? Like they're pushing their bodies to the extremes because of a higher purpose. The higher purpose for The Rock would be he's doing a movie and he wants to, and if The Rock just looked like a normal guy, he wouldn't be like a superhero, he wouldn't even be whatever character he's playing now. I'm not even sure. Like if the top bodybuilder wouldn't win the bodybuilding competitions if he wasn't as biggest and as best condition as possible. So you have to, and in that sport, you have to take something to get there as well, because otherwise you won't be able to be in the competition. You'll be able to be in the Mr. Olympia if you don't take something. So yeah, there are natural shows of bodybuilding as well, but the ones that get the most attention are the ones where people are doing the extreme. It's an extreme sport essentially, and it's not healthy either when you're that lean as well. When like Dorian Yates, great bodybuilder from the late 80s, early 90s, when he was super lean, he has such little fat on the bottom of his feet that it was hurt to walk around and everything. And other people have reported this as well, where you get that lean, it actually hurts to walk because there's no fat on your feet. You don't even think there's fat on your feet. You don't even think of that.
No.
But that's how lean they're getting, and it's getting to the point where they're so dehydrated as well. It really is, and that's seen as like they'll put out on a poster and be like, this is health. They'll not say it, but they'll say like, this is something. Health is the ideal man or something. But it's more like I think there's a kind of, people definitely have a skewed perception of it. And some people do just say like, oh, that's gross and stuff. But I think it just shows a lot of commitment, and they're willing to go that far, right? I mean, a lot of people aren't willing to go that far, and it is definitely a dangerous thing. And I think that over time, people will become they'll be more aware of the dangers of it, because it's essentially, it can kill you. It can have you drop dead at like late 20s if you're not careful. So, and
it's one of them. I don't want to, crap on the bodybuilding community, because I've got a lot of respect for what they do and the commitment they have to put in and the discipline they have to put in. It's like a lot of sports. You have to sacrifice a lot, whether it's your family time, whether it's your health, your recovery. People come back injured and just to play football, and then they get injured again, and then it has a lasting effect on a career. Like, to be at the greatest, you have to take sacrifices, and different sports have different types of sacrifices to get to where they were or where they want to be.
Said I wake up every morning, pray to God that I'm fixing up. Hope I'm never slipping up. Hear the money calling, need my peace to start getting up. Feeling like I'm blessed, but it came with a bit of luck. Feeling like you stressed, then the tension starts to fill you up. Need an intermission, yeah, they ain't the same lane as us. Cut from different sticks, yeah, they're not the same range as us. They cop the pleas and top of teas, they're not hitting range with us. Keep